Just a quick reminder, we are not doctors. This video is for informational purposes only. But the first herb that we need to talk about is ginseng. It's an herb that has been used in traditional Asian medicine for centuries. Ginseng is known for its potent antioxidant properties, which work well for fighting inflammation. Not only is this beneficial for your lungs, it's also good for pretty much all the organs and systems of the human body. Not to mention, studies found that ginseng actually can provide a boost for your immune system as well. But that's not even why ginseng comes in at number 1 in this video. The reason is, studies found that ginseng is beneficial for those with chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. And in case you weren't aware, COPD is the 3rd leading cause of death in the United States, so it affects far more people than you probably realize. Multiple studies found that those with stable COPD who take ginseng experience improvements in breathing and lung function, which ultimately leads to a better overall quality of life. Keep in mind though that at this time there is no cure for COPD, but traditional medicine and herbs such as ginseng can provide relief for some of the symptoms. Of course, and this goes for all home remedies, always check with your doctor before medicating yourself at home because you don't want to put anything into your body that it can't handle. Moving right along, number 2 is Osha root. The roots of this herb contain several components that can provide a boost to your lungs and respiratory system. Specifically, it helps increase blood circulation to the lungs, which in turn helps improve oxygenation throughout the entire body. Osha root also has antihistamine properties, which work well for soothing sinus infections and other respiratory illnesses. Some elements that may benefit include cough, sore throat, bronchitis, and common colds. A few drops of concentrated Osha root extract can be added to your water or beverage of choice. The numbing effects help to alleviate the irritated tissues of your airways and respiratory tract. Number 3, of course, is none other than eucalyptus. The eucalyptus tree has been a source of food for wildlife for centuries, but it wasn't until later on that humans discovered its positive health benefits. The leaves of a eucalyptus tree can be distilled and diluted into an essential oil which can be used for medicinal purposes, such as treating sinus congestion, common cold, fever, and other respiratory ailments. Eucalyptus has a component called cineol, which is an active ingredient that works as an expectorant. This means that it can ease a cough and aid in the removal of secretions. Cineol has antioxidant and antimicrobial effects that can provide a boost to your immune system as well. It reacts with the mucous membranes of the lungs and helps loosen up secretions so that they can be coughed up more easily. Number 4 is elderberry. You've probably heard of this one, and maybe you've even tried it at some point because it's a plant that has become wildly popular over recent years. The reason is, elderberry is known for its antimicrobial, antibacterial, and antifungal properties. This makes it great for boosting the immune system and treating colds, infections, and viruses. Elderberry is also referred to as sambucus and is most commonly consumed in the form of a cough syrup. In order to give your immune system a boost, you can take 1 dose of elderberry per day. Or if you're already sick, you can look into increasing the frequency of your dosages. Keep in mind that although elderberry is generally considered to be safe, you don't want to overdo it. As always, check with your doctor for recommended uses and dosages. Next up on our list is Astragalus. This herb became popular in Chinese medicine and is known for its antibacterial and anti-inflammatory components. Studies found that the Astragalus root can boost the body's resistance to infections and increase immune responses. This makes it a great option for those who want to strengthen their immune system and decrease their chances of being infected by certain viruses and bacteria. Astragalus has been used to treat a wide variety of ailments such as the common cold, allergies, and even chronic fatigue. Coming in at number 6 is Horehound. The Horehound leaf, which comes from the mint family, is actually a common ingredient in cough drops and cough syrup. That is because its natural properties work as an expectorant to aid in the removal of mucus and secretions from the lungs. This means that it would be useful for those with allergies, sinus infections, and chest congestion. Some people use this herb to make their own cough syrup by finely chopping up the leaves and mixing them with alcohol and honey. So if you're interested in creating your own DIY concoction, this may be something to look into. Next up is Bergamot. Bergamot is a citrus tree that is known for its ability to relieve feelings of stress and anxiety, but it contains properties that can make breathing easier as well. Throughout history, its fruit juice was used for the treatment of a variety of different ailments, but more recently, it's been formulated into an essential oil supplement that can be used for medicinal purposes. That is because it contains antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and antiseptic properties, which is exactly why it can benefit your respiratory system. This essential oil can be used in aromatherapy and works as an expectorant to clear the nasal passages, fight congestion, and provide relief for chronic coughing. This aids in the removal of mucus and phlegm, which removes bacteria that causes lung infections and ultimately can make breathing easier. Number 8 is lavender. Lavender is a plant that is found all over the world, but many don't realize that its properties have been used for medicinal and religious purposes for hundreds of years. Studies found that lavender may offer benefits for those with COPD because it contains antioxidant properties that work to combat the progression of the disease. One study found that its aromas help to decrease the production of cortisol. Cortisol is known as the stress hormone, so with decreased productions of cortisol comes decreased levels of stress. Bronchoconstriction is a symptom that comes with COPD, and stress only makes matters worse because it causes the airways to constrict, which makes it more difficult to breathe. With that said, as your stress levels are decreased, the airways can open up more, which makes it much easier for your lungs to take in oxygen and remove carbon dioxide. Next up is peppermint. Peppermint is an herb that is native to the Mediterranean region and, as its name suggests, is also part of the mint family. The leaves of a peppermint tree can be formulated into an essential oil that was discovered to have analgesic, antiseptic, and antimicrobial properties that offer an array of benefits when it comes to improving your breathing.